Ping, they're held as the gold standard in anything that's forgiving, right? Have you ever bought a set of pings? Well, I'm here today to find out in real life, out on the golf course, in what is, well, I'm going to say right here, intimidating, jeopardy, hard golf shot. Is there something that's around £200 cheaper, but still performs the same? So we're comparing the Ping G440, which when I tested these on their own, I love them, and up against the Wilson Dynapower Max. Now, I've not actually tested these, but I've had a mid-handicapper Gary on the channel, and he has tested them. He gave his opinion, and one thing that he said was the sound was a little bit odd. So I'm interested to see the sound difference, the acoustics, but more importantly, the ball speed, the carry, and the big thing, if you want some forgiving irons, and the person who's going to buy this is, if they don't quite get it out the middle, which on this shot light here is likely to happen, do they still go relatively a good distance? So let's start. Ping, straight off the gun. Let's see how this flies. We are 5-iron distance here. We've also got a 7-iron we're going to hit a couple of yards further forward. I feel like golfers spend a lot of money on new tech. So I also feel if I can save you a little bit of money, that's always a good thing. But they've got to work. That looks massive down behind the ball. That profile, toe to heel. Wow. Come here. You need to see this. So that's the Ping. Now, the one thing I would say is you can't really see the back of the club, which I think is a good thing for me personally. And I still think that size, the profile, almost oversized, I would call it, from toe to heel, gives you a lot of confidence. Again, I'm putting myself in the shoes of somebody who would be buying this. Right, let's get a hit in here. Let's get a hit. Wonder how many times we can hit the green. So like I say, we're bang on 5-iron yardage. I'm going straight at that flag too. And that's a fact. No matter how you hit it, that's going to end up in the water. I don't think that's anything to do with the Ping. That's to do with the fact that I've got water 10 yards in front of me. So let me just go and grab another golf ball. Take 2. No matter what club you've got in your hand, if you fat it like that, that is going to happen. Right, I have got some swing demons here, everybody. Not going to lie to you, but that happens to most people. So let's just be realistic, Alex. It's always going to happen. Come on. There we go. Oh, get a piece. Go. Go. Oh, we're wet. Oh. That's a good hit, but a little bit of a push. So that one's a little bit wet. Okay, so that one carried there. Give you some numbers here with the Ping. 183 yards. Let's look at some ball speed numbers here, everybody. And 208 yards total. And if we just flick through this, we can give you some ball speed numbers. 138 ball speed, 97 club head speed. Wow, that is quick. Okay, that is really good. Like, very fast. Very, very fast. I'm impressed. A little bit fadey. This is a tough shot. Let's hit a 5-iron. Now, sound-wise and feel, that didn't feel like a clumpy iron. Yes, when you're looking down at the ball, it does look clumpy. It does look forgiving. I'd say I'm saying clumpy. Most people would say look forgiving. I don't mean that in a belittling way. I just mean what you're used to looking at. Now this, have a look at this. This right here is the Wilson. Now, visually, I'm going to say this. I don't feel Wilson have the upper hand visually. And that's purely because I can really see that back edge. Now, we're choosing the Max model here in the Wilson because I feel Ping are known as the gold standard in Max, right? So I'm putting it up in what Wilson have as their gold standard in a Max model. How does it go on? How does it fare? How does it play? Now, I'm dying to hit this. Let me know what you think. I actually think this looks a little smaller, toe to heel, but a little bit fatter, front to back. That's my view on that. So, let's now hit one away with the Wilson. Can I hit the green? Can I hit the green? Because, yeah, I mean, 2 in the water with the Ping. Forget the first one. That would have happened with the Wilson. That was a great shot, to be fair, that second one. I'm going to try and aim further left right now, everybody. This looks a lot more offset as well. The other bit of feedback I give you. Oh, definitely a different sound. This is 2 for 2 in the water, I think. Fly. Fly. 2 for 2 in the water. I'm not sure what to make of that. Definitely sounded different. A lot less ball speed. This is seriously interesting. Look at that. A 129 ball speed over a 138. And if we have a look at the carry numbers here, a 179 carry, similar in terms of total, a little bit less total. So a little bit slower. not as fast, not as ferocious off the face, but with the same club speed. Now, shaft may be playing a part in that, but this is what we've got in this test. So, 5-iron, 5-iron, swing demons are going on. Both good shots, both ended up in the water, unfortunately, but it's an intimidating shot. Let's go and hit some 7-irons now, because these are the clubs where, more realistically, we wanted to hit the green, right? To be fair to me, they would have probably both just been a little chip off the side of the green, which with 5-iron, I don't think that's a bad thing. Looking at that in terms of a ball speed point of view, ping definitely has the upper hand. So, maybe it is worth spending just a little bit more. But too early to tell. We now need to hit some with the 7-irons. So let's see how these fare. But have a look at them down behind the ball. So if I place them both down here, that's the difference in look. So in my eyes, I listed a few things before, and just put them here for you. Just put them there. So in my eyes, I listed a few things before. Number one, I actually think there's a little bit more offset on the Wilson. So if you're someone who misses it off to the right, the Wilson's probably going to be a little bit more favourable to your eye. Offset essentially just means it's easier to close the face. Blade size, the max model on the Wilson looks way, way bigger than just the Ping G440. So again, this one here, the max, this is the Wilson here on the left, this is the Ping on the right. Everybody will say, well, Alex, like, this is not the max model in the Ping. But yes, Ping are the gold standard in forgiveness. That's why I've chosen Wilson's gold standard. So I also would mention here the top lie on the Wilson, this one here, you can see is a little bit thicker. It's also visually easier to see the back of the Wilson versus the Ping. So in terms of looks, the Ping definitely looks a little neater, a little bit more superior, if that's what you're looking for. You could also say maybe the shinier finish gives it, rather than the dull here on the Wilson, people would prefer. In terms of shelf appeal, let me hold them up for you. I actually really like the Wilson. I like the little bit of carbon look, a little bit of Dynapower, splash of red. Big fan of that. There's the Ping for you. Not that I dislike the Ping. I think I just prefer the Wilson in a weird way. Like, I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Wilson, and I don't really know why. Right. Let's see if we can get the green on these two. Let's not lose any golf balls. We're going to go in the same order. We're going to go with the Ping, set the gauntlet, lay the data down on the table. I'm going to stay committed. That flag is left side. I'm going to go at the flag. If it fades off, then okay. We hit the middle of the green. I'm not going to aim left of this green. I'm not doing it to myself. Swing demons right now. Everybody else can relate to that, isn't it? It's hard, isn't it? Just a new club, swing demons, going out on the golf course, water, swing demons. But that's why I think this is a great time for me to test this kind of iron. Does it get me out of trouble? Is it forgiving when you don't hit the middle? Right, okay, here we go. Ping, going down. It's a little fadey. Get a piece. Get a piece now. Down. Definitely got a piece. That's right on the edge. Not got a piece of the green, but we are dry. We are dry, everybody. That is pin high for me. So 91.8 club head speed, 126.4 ball speed. And what's that computed to in terms of numbers? 168 yards carry. To be honest, that's all the numbers we need. But that's where I hit it. You can sort of see out the ideal middle there. I didn't even feel that. Now, after I've hit 3 shots now, these definitely are a little more muted in sound. I'm not saying they're quiet, but they're quieter than the Wilson. The Wilson are a little bit more, I'm not saying abusive on the ear, but a little bit louder. So, numbers you need to keep in your mind right there. 3 of them. 168 yards, 91.8, we'll call it 92 club head speed, and 126 ball speed. Right, here's your Wilson. Let's get that aim right, Alex. Come on, man. Here we go. This is moving all over that flag. There must be maybe more wind up there than I thought. Talk to me. We hit the green. I feel a bit better right now. Now, this is super interesting. That's not what I expected. Let's start off with the number of carry first. Now, I know I've been fitted for none of these, so this adds into the equation as well. 165 versus 168. So Wilson 165, Ping 168. Slightly lower. 94, more club head speed, but lower ball speed. So the question is, should you then go for the Ping? Difficult to say. Very difficult to say. This is an honest test. Let's head up to the green and just see and show you exactly where Well, I'm not getting the water, so I'm not showing you where the 5 irons went, but let me show you where the 7 irons went on both. Hey, that is the 7 iron. Look at that shot. How small are the greens here, by the way? They're blooming tiny, and look at that. You can tell it's a Robert Trent Jones design. Greens, positional, shaping, and it's stunning. That adds definitely into the equation. So here is the 7 iron from the Wilson. Bang on, lovely shot. That wind was quite hard off my left, which definitely caught me out on the 5 irons, and to be fair, on the 7 iron, which finished here. You stay up there, you stay dry, guys. Oh, of the ping, which is here. Now, this test was all about, can both these irons at different price points as a max model compete? What do they both offer? What are the looks? What are the sound? So, overall, yes, they both can compete. You're going to get some slightly different visuals. Some ping, in my opinion, looks slightly better than the Wilson. These look more oversized, and definitely these are Wilson's version of their gold standard in terms of forgiveness, up against what Ping have as their gold, well, what we all hold as the gold standard. And I think it's super interesting to see how they both perform. Yes, the numbers were slightly different. Other factors in terms of shafts will play a role on that, in terms of spin, and then what that will compute in terms of ball speed and carry. But this isn't a test up against each other. This is a test to say, which irons right here do we like the looks of, perform, and can they both perform out on the golf course? And the answer to that question is yes.